and welcome back to my life on the HD list. Just kidding. This is like a mental projector diary. It's my life and human design and how they coexist, how I use it for myself, how you can use it for yourself, and just kind of looking at it in a way that sort of bends the boundaries and maybe takes a second or third or fourth look at some of the beliefs or limiting beliefs of human design, and just the way that I third line my way through life. So welcome back. On the last video, we talked about authority for projectors, and I totally forgot ego projected authority. It's very rare. It's more rare than mental projectors and self-projected projectors. I think it's like 1% or 2% or something. I don't know. But their authority is their ego, or the heart center, essentially. So they are here to have really strong willpower and to kind of do things from the lens of I want. They're really just sort of here to do what they want, what their ego wants, what they desire, things like that. So that's a very, very brief overview. I just didn't want to forget ego projected projectors, because I know there's some of you out there and you're super special. So now that I've made sure to mention all of the authorities, I know last time I talked a lot about the mental projector authority. If you're new to these videos and you're like, what the heck is human design, mental projector, what are you talking about there, lady? Go to any website that does human design charts. I prefer mybodygraph.com, and get your body graph, and then you'll see some crazy chart with shapes and lines and colors, and you're like, oh, what does this mean? There's a little bit of information, and there's a section called authority, and that's what we were talking about last time. And if you look there and you see outer authority, no authority, soundboarding authority, environmental authority, then congratulations, you're a mental projector. I kind of wanted to go into that a little bit more in this little chat, because when I first learned about my design, when I first really got into being a mental projector, the term outer authority struck me as disempowering. Like, hey, I'm giving up the power to make choices to the outer world, and that's how I gain clarity. Like, it just seemed really odd to me to give up my power. I have a very, very strong conditioning around control and trust. Those are kind of where my strong conditioning from childhood on lies. So ultimately, looking to the outside world as an authority, to me, felt like I was just giving up all my control. And I didn't like that. I still don't like that, but I ultimately understand why that's the process. First of all, I think I was a little bit skewed on my view of this, because just because you have outer authority doesn't mean you can't make choices on your own and you can't operate as an individual. You don't have to 100% rely on other people to make choices for you. As we spoke about in the last video, when you're soundboarding with another person, it's not about the other person's opinion at all. You don't want them to talk. You don't want them to give you their opinion. You just need them there energetically. So you're essentially using them for your own purposes. And the environmental part of our authority has to do with the outer part of the authority as well, because it's best if you process in different outer environments. So putting yourself in your favorite park, or the room in your house that you like the most. Do you see the theme with this? You want to go to places that you enjoy, and processing and talking out loud with other people in those environments. That's how you do this thing. So it's not, hey, I need you to make this choice because without you, I can't make choices. That's not the energy around this at all. It's more, as mental projectors, you have no definition of centers below the throat. So if you're seeing your chart, you don't have any defined centers. You have defined gates. That's the red and black, or both sometimes lines, but the shapes underneath the throat, all white. That's a trademark of the mental projector. You are not a mental projector unless you have a completely open body, which is what we call it. And again, scary, right? So I have inconsistent body energy, which is like, okay, I'm all up in here. That makes sense for me. I have a lot of mental anxiety and a lot of ajna and head pressure. But this part feels very foreign to me. My whole life growing up, when people said, listen to your gut or trust your gut, or what does your gut tell you? I don't know. This is talking really loudly. I don't know what this says. This is excited and scared and nervous and wants to throw up and wants to run away, but I don't know how to really read those energies. I don't know how to read that. I can read this, my logical, responsible brain saying, this is the smart thing to do. This is the responsible thing to do. This is a jumble of anxiety that I think is lying to me. This is telling the truth. This is my conditioning growing up my entire life until I found human design, and I realized it needs to be a big old swap. This is telling me not truths, not self-truths. This is what I need to listen to. What? But it's inconsistent for us, so how do we listen to it? Janelle, this doesn't make any sense. Mental projectors have a lot of this, have a lot of, well, you have this energy, but you're supposed to listen to this energy. Well, you're pretty smart and pretty quick and pretty logical, so maybe you make choices really fast, but hey, you need to take time. You need to process in different environments and soundboard. So it's like this push-pull, and that's the beauty of the experiment, is you get to practice with it and still throw your own individual spin on it. Like I mentioned before, most of the time when I process an opportunity or an invitation, I already know my answer. I've known it the whole time. I go, yep, this is the answer. Almost every time, even after I process, I still come to the same conclusion, but I have clarity on the specifics of the thing. So maybe if I got an opportunity, well, let's go with this right now. I have an opportunity to work on a business with my biz bestie. We're going to put something together for, I think we're going to do it for coaches, but I'm not sure. And I already know it's a good idea. I already know as a third line and her as a third line, we need to jump in it and try it out and see what happens. I already know all this stuff, but I still soundboard with my husband. I still go on a walk and process this information because it helps me gain clarity on who is this offer going to be for? How can Rebecca and I protect our own energy so that we go into this authentically and we're not trying to turn this into something because we think that's what other people want from us. You know, the process helps, even if it doesn't change your ultimate answer. It adds clarity and nuance and confidence to the answer so that you can go forth and say yes, but with the conditions and the things that you need to make it perfect for you. Okay, so that's the main reason why I do the soundboarding and the processing different environments and is to get more. I want more than just a yes or a no. I want a little bit more direction, because as a mental projector, being open down here, we don't have a whole big sense of direction. We're kind of just like, where do you want me to go? Oh, I'm supposed to pay attention to things that I enjoy. Okay, great. But what do I do? Like, it can feel like you're just floating around here. So to kind of ground you back down, there's ways to get in your body, and there's ways to sort of start gauging the energy of your body. Like I said before, growing up, if I felt anything in here as a gut reaction, it was always like, I'm gonna barf. And what do you do with that? Is that a yes? Is that a no? Like, what the fuck? I have it written in here, what the fuck? So, for me, this has been a practice and I'm still working on it, but there's things that I use. Meditation, guided meditation especially, for me helps a lot. Meditation can be very difficult, especially for mental projectors, because you're all up in here. You can't turn it off. Your brain keeps going. So you don't know how to meditate. You're not doing it right? Okay. I've been meditating every day for 2 years now, almost 2 years. Every single time, my thoughts take me away. I get distracted by a list, or something I need to do, or a sound, or oh shit, I forgot to start the dishwasher. Like every time. It doesn't go away. It doesn't stop. You don't automatically become good at meditating. You just sit there with it. You don't leave. If you need to start with a few minutes at a time, great. I don't meditate more than 10 minutes at a time. I think that's like the most I normally do, but I do it every single day. And it really does help me kind of gain traction for the day. I do it in the morning, and it helps me kind of, because no matter what, even if your thoughts take you away, you're still slowing down. I also have a big breath work practice. So when I'm meditating, I focus on my breath. I've learned to slow down my breath pretty well. If I get high anxiety and I'm like, sometimes I do it when I'm speaking. I have to slow it down. I tell myself it's okay that there's a pause in the speaking, in the action, and I slow myself down. So breath work has been huge for me. Meditation has been huge. Both of these things you can find a quadrillion videos here on YouTube. They can be shorter experiences, long experiences. They can be simple. They can be elaborate practices you do for yourself. Whatever it is, for me, it's about taking time alone. Alone time is like a huge, huge thing for mental projectors. You have to empty out. I'm sure I'll do a whole video on that. That is an idea I need to remember to write down, so I do that video. But really, it's about paying attention to what works for you. It doesn't have to be the same thing all the time. Sometimes your consistent routines can get stale. Throw something new in. Try a new yoga video. I love yoga with Adriene. If you've never tried that, she's fantastic. She has really short videos, like less than 10 minutes, that you can pop on, do some yoga, and then you feel great. You feel like you did something for yourself. You feel in control. You feel like you have the power. I think that's why I like these things, because it's like I'm controlling the situation. I'm controlling my breath work today, my meditation, my movement. And so that big control word, I enjoy. So I think these are healthy ways for me to take control. And I think it really helps me feel in my body. I don't want to go too long. I never know how long I'm going. So I'm just going to give some sort of tidbits on how to listen to your body and gauge the mess in here. Because like I said, for me, I can never tell what it means because it always sounds the same. It's like queasiness, my heart rate goes up. So for me, I've started to kind of ignore the immediate I'm gonna puke feeling, because that comes for me no matter what. If it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, if I'm scared just because it's different, or if it's a no, and no matter what, I automatically feel like I'm gonna barf. So that is sort of a response. I've just sort of gone, okay, this is just what your body does in the face of any sort of change. So congratulations. So I kind of allow that feeling to subside, because it does. It's usually a quick like, oh, I gotta hurl, and then it goes away. And then I start to listen to my body, but more I start to feel, where does my body go? As I'm talking about this thing, as I'm processing this thing, where does my body move? Am I moving forward from here? Because oddly enough, when I'm in something, I move forward like this. I'm talking, I get like this. And when I'm not into something, I kind of am just like, it's actually kind of similar to when you hear people talking about the sacral yes or no response. But to me, it starts here and is all over the body, and it can be quite inconsistent. So sometimes I get excited and move forward for something that I'm immediately terrified by, and then maybe I want that thing. So it's very much a lot of talking and then a lot of dancing around. Where does my body want to go? Where does it want to dance? Also, I notice if I have the urge to talk something through over and over and over again, that probably means I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be with my ideas, and I need some more clarity. And that usually just means more time. I don't have to do anything. That's the big part about this, is we're all trying to do so much to get things to go the way that we want them to go. Surprise, that's not how the world works. Things don't go the way you want them to go. So just let that part go and realize that if you just give yourself time to really decide what you want, what you really authentically down to your bones want, every time you get to make a decision in your life, you are ultimately shaping your life and changing it and aligning yourself with your design. So I think that's where I'm going to stop for now. Check out more videos by me, like them, follow my channel, I guess, comment if you want me to talk about something, or if you have a question. Any question about human design, it doesn't have to be about mental projectors, it can be anything. I'll do my best to answer. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.